Hello. So today I'm going to talk to you about our other ectoparasites, our parasites that live on the skin, the ones that are a little bit less common in our cats and dogs. So the one that I think most people have heard of is ear mites. That's something that we see mostly in cats. Every once in a while you'll see it in dogs, and they are actually little bugs that are crawling around inside the ear. Your classic look for these is going to be kind of thick black debris, and when you touch inside that ear, it is incredibly itchy for them. Ear mites are technically contagious between animals. It's kind of hard for them to go from one ear to the other, but it is possible. Now, as I said, they're much more common in cats than dogs. We see a lot of people that bring their dogs or their puppies in convinced that they have ear mites, and they've treated with over-the-counter ear mite medication where they just have a bacterial or yeast infection in the ears. So if you're concerned about ear mites, take your animal to the vet. They're relatively easy to diagnose. We look at it under the microscope and we just see the mites or the eggs hanging out. Now, we can also see lice in animals. One version of lice is called walking dandruff, is kind of the layperson, and it literally looks like a little piece of dandruff that's just running around doing its thing. Thankfully, we do have a treatment for that. We can also see nose mites in animals. That's a little bit rarer of a thing, but it's just like treating ear mites. You take a sample from the nose and you look at it under the microscope. Causes chronic runny nose, respiratory, crustiness types of things. Another ectoparasite that we see frequently is what's called a botfly or a cuterebra. So this is a parasite or where a fly actually deposits their eggs in an abrasion or something on the skin, and it produces a little incubator area for the botfly, which is a baby fly. Usually it looks like essentially like a pimple with a hole in the middle, and you can sometimes see the little botfly peek its little head out to try to get some oxygen. We can see it in cats, we can see it in dogs, we see it more in rabbits than anybody else. But anytime you have a botfly, it is recommended to bring them into the vet to have it physically removed because the area can get infected, and honestly, it's just kind of gross. There are other ectoparasites, but those are kind of the most common ones that we see in animals. Now, in my next talk, I'm going to talk about everybody's least favorite, which is ringworm. It just doesn't fit with the other ectoparasites.